Hello campers. Hope you will be doing great. We welcome you to another super amazing episode of Winterizing series of RV. Today we will continue our discussion on making an RV fully prepared for winter. As in the very first episode of this Winterizing series, we discussed the overview of what could be done to make an RV winter-proof. And from that table of content, we will pick an important topic today, which is the water system. This is probably the most important thing that comes in mind when the thing is about winters. Winter is equal to cold and cold is equal to ice. The formation of ice in your RV water pipelines will result in huge lost top RV functionalities. So, this is a highly recommended video to all RV lovers who don't want such big problem in their RV. We assure you that if you watched this video till the end, you will not regret in future for not watching this video. So we encourage you to kindly watch the full video and get your RV into a safe winter zone. The water system in your RV provides your fresh water and removes used water from the inside of your unit. Keeping an eye on every aspect of your water system before, during and after your road trip will reduce the chances of your unit having issues. This includes taking the time to properly winterize your unit before storing it away during colder months. Winterizing. When putting your RV away for the winter months, you will want to properly winterize the entire water system. This includes draining the system of all water and by blowing out the lines or adding antifreeze. Open up all water lines until you see antifreeze coming out of faucets. Don't forget about the water heater. Drain the heater and if applicable, close the water heater bypass valve, otherwise you'll need to add an additional 6-10 gallons of antifreeze. When draining the water system to either sanitize or winterize, do not open the water heater drain plug when the water is hot. You will want to turn off the water heater and allow it to cool before opening up. We have already overviewed this topic in the first episode, and today in this episode, we will go deep into it, providing you with the most accurate and best ways to do the proper winterization of water system. To begin, drain and flush the black and gray water tanks at a dump station. Clean the black water tank with a wand attachment at the end of a hose. Next, drain the fresh water tank. This will remove water that could potentially cause your pipes to freeze and burst, and it saves you from getting sprayed when you open the drains or unscrew the plug on your water heater. Drain all water from the system at the low point drains. Refer to your owner's manual if you need help locating the low point drains. Now, make sure the water heater tank has had time to cool before you attempt to drain it with no water connected to the RV, and the 12-volt water pump in the off position. Open a hot water faucet to relieve any pressure in the lines. Make sure the RV is not plugged into 100 at 10 volts, and turn off the 100 at 10 volt electric switch to the water heater, if so equipped. Drain your water heater tank and leave the drain plug open. This is a good time to clean the inside of the tank with a wand attachment at the end of a hose. While you're at it, check the anode rod to make sure it's in good condition. Replace if corroded. Open all the hot and cold water faucets and flush the toilet to help get remaining water out of the system. If your RV has an exterior sink or hose, be sure to drain that, too. Some people opt to blow compressed air into their pipes after completing the steps above to help remove more water. However, blowing compressed air into the lines may cause them to become loose, split, or burst. Be cautious and never use more than 40 psi when blowing out the lines. You can also use your RV's water pump to help remove water from the system, but make sure to turn the pump off as soon as the lines are drained. Otherwise, you'll risk damaging the pump. Recap the drains and close the faucets when complete. Connect antifreeze to your RV's water system. It's time for the second part of winterizing your RV's water system. Adding RV antifreeze. Always be sure to use RV-specific antifreeze, and never use automotive antifreeze in your RV's water system. If you have a water filter, remove it and install a filter bypass kit. This will prevent the antifreeze from ruining the filter. You'll also want to bypass the water heater so you don't waste gallons of antifreeze. The antifreeze will fill the water heater tank before it goes through your lines. If your RV doesn't have a water heater bypass kit, you can purchase one from your local parts store. There are a few different ways to add antifreeze. Option 1. Find the water pump and disconnect the suction side of the pump. Install a hose with fitting onto the pump, and insert the other end of the hose into a jug of RV antifreeze. Option 2. Install a T-bypass valve in the water line between the freshwater tank and the pump. Run a hose from this valve into your jug of RV antifreeze. This accomplishes the same as the first method, but without having to adjust the water pump. Option 3. Use an antifreeze hand pump kit to do the same task. Drop the pump into your jug of RV antifreeze, and connect its hose into the city water inlet of your RV. Once you've chosen a method and connected the antifreeze, turn on the pump and run the antifreeze through the lines to winterize your RV's plumbing. We recommend starting with the highest points, shower heads, and working your way down. Start with the shower closest to the pump, and turn on the hot and cold faucets until the bright pink antifreeze flows through the line. Repeat this process for sinks, hoses, and toilets. Flush the toilet until antifreeze runs through the bowl. Don't forget to do any exterior hoses and sinks. Depending on your RV's water system, this may take 2-3 gallons of antifreeze. Switch out the jugs as needed. Add antifreeze to drains, seals, and water heater. After pumping water through the system, pour a small cup, about 4 ounces, of antifreeze down each drain. Pour a few ounces of antifreeze in the toilet and flush it into the holding tank. This will prevent any remaining water from freezing. If you have an on-demand water heater, refer to the owner's operation manual for specific directions on winterization procedures. Then, add RV antifreeze to the water heater. Turn the bypass valve back to the normal position, or reconnect the lines on the back of the water heater. Pump about a half gallon of antifreeze into the water heater. If your water heater has an electric heating element, make sure it is turned to the off position. This will protect the element if the RV is plugged in while in storage. Add about an ounce of RV antifreeze into the city water inlet to protect the check valve. Add a few ounces of RV antifreeze to the black and gray tanks to winterize their check valves. Last step, check your owner's manual for specific winterizing instructions for ice makers and washing machines, if applicable to your RV. Finally, wipe down all sinks, tubs, and showers thoroughly to remove any excess antifreeze in the basins because RV antifreeze can stain. So these were the main steps, which could be followed to make the water system of RV fully prepared for winters. If you followed all steps from this video, you will be free for thinking of water system. You can either keep your RV into storage or you can plan a tour. Your RV water system will be winter ready now. This was all about the water system winterizing process. We will meet again in the next video discussing more ways on winterization. Thank you.